Welcome back to the COS Business Podcast, the #1 podcast in Colorado Springs. I'm sitting here with Philip Wilburn, and I'd just like to say this is the first episode where I'm switching back and forth, so it may be a little bumpy at the beginning, but we'll figure it out. You run a company called HOSTE. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah. So HOSTE, I like to say, is kind of it's an experience company, but more than anything, it's a short-term rental management company. So your standard Airbnbs, that kind of thing, we manage those. So it's kind of like managing a hotel, but every one of our rooms is a house spread across the city. So
okay, so you have like a hotel that's sparse, a sparse hotel.
Yeah, it's just it's a little logistically complex just because of the distance traveled, right?
And so there's certain processes that you have within every one that makes it kind of feel like you get the same kind of experience at one house, the same quality of experience at one house than you would at another, or is there like tiers?
I'd like to say each house is unique on its own as far as decorations, amenities provided, also the location, views of the mountains, you know. So each one is kind of its own custom experience.
So do you have themes for them? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, some of them have themes. Some of them are kind of the cabin style themes. We have one. It has theme rooms, so it has a train room. It has a Colorado theme room. It has like a bike room. So really eclectic things like a bike lamp and things like that. So
yeah, I wonder if I ever stayed in one of your Airbnbs, because when I first moved out here, I was staying in various Airbnbs. So I wonder if I ever stayed in one that you managed.
Yeah, it's definitely. Do you remember what street it was on?
There was a bunch. At first, there was like 10, and then there was one consistent one. But the one that I stayed at the longest, he managed his own stuff. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
See, I'm going to definitely this is like riding a bike. I'm going to forget to keep switching to myself. I actually should probably have the monitor over there so that I could like see it in like my peripheral, so I can like not even have to like focus on it. But this is fun, dude. I'm excited. Yeah. So I'm going to start the intro music, and then we'll dive into exactly what HOSTE is. All right. This is a show where we have real conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners who are mostly in Colorado Springs, doing things in the community of Colorado Springs. And that was up a little loud. I forget everything that's happening right now is going to be baked into the final edit, so I can't like mess up. But I'm okay with messing up.
No pressure.
Yeah, exactly. So how long have you been running this company? What prompted you to start it?
Yeah, so we've been in business about 4 years. We're coming up on 4 years. And it was actually me and my brother that started it. We were actually managing our own Airbnbs, kind of the shared room space. So we had 3 or 4 rooms each that we were renting out to travel nurses, and well, initially the single night turnover, which we learned, a residential washer and dryer can't really support flipping the linens and things like that. So we went through quite a few washers and dryers pretty quick, but
okay. Because you were putting a lot of work on them constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was kind of what prompted us or led us to it. Was we started looking for a management company to manage these. We liked the money we were making off of them. Yeah, it was pretty lucrative, and we started looking for a management company here in Colorado Springs, and we could at the time. I don't think we couldn't find one, but so we started looking at the idea, why don't we start one without even knowing what that meant, right? I'd never been in long-term management, or it's more. It ended up being more hospitality than anything, but a lot of learning curves. But yeah, we just ended up throwing up kind of a generic website and started getting phone calls. People needed the service. People needed their houses managed. And it was just it's a unique opportunity and another thing you can do with your house as far as investment goes, versus selling it or the traditional long-term method. So.
Yeah, it's completely a new avenue that popped up because of companies like Airbnb. And is Airbnb the main service you guys utilize?
So Airbnb is more of just a platform. Same with, there's booking.com, VRBO. There's tons of those kinds of platforms. But, of course, Airbnb kind of urbanized it, right? VRBO has been around a long time, and
yeah.
And even, vacation homes in the mountain towns.
There was a website, the Couch Surfers or something like that. It was something like that. I don't know. It was like a pre Airbnb kind of thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, the industry as a whole, as it is now, is fairly new, maybe 10, maybe 15 years. So it's brand new. It's still developing, still kind of being figured out. And it's not quite like managing a hotel, and it's not quite like traditional property management.
What are some of those differences?
Sure. So one, like I mentioned before, is the kind of the unique complexity of the logistical. You have a check-in, check-out in a 5-bedroom house, same day, and you got to get a team out there to clean it, a team out there to inspect it, and then if there's any maintenance that needs done, it needs done right then. And of course, instead of a hotel, everything's centralized, including the laundry. In this case, it's the drive out and drive back. So that
and laundry consists of like the linens, the bedding, and all that stuff, and you got to change that out daily. Or do you have people who? What is your main term that people rent out of Airbnb for?
Yeah, right now it's floating around 3 to 4 days is kind of the average stay.
Okay,
something like that. But short-term rental. The definition is 28 days. So anything over that technically in Colorado is more of a long-term rental. Okay.
Even like 3 months or yeah, I guess that is I guess that would make sense. Yeah. So, cause I know some Airbnbs, they'll book out for, some people will book out on the app, for 6 months or 3 months. Some people only let their houses be rented out for that long on Airbnb, and a lot of people don't realize that that's an option.
Yeah. If you have the setup right, and say maybe you travel for business a couple weeks or months out of the year, it's instead of your house just sitting there and collecting dust, you can make revenue off of it. So that's kind of one of the unique things that that short-term rentals brings.
And then you guys can even automate it completely for the investor or the person who owns the house. You can Airbnb lets you make money on it, but then a lot of people find out that they still have a lot. It's like a job, it's so much work to manage these Airbnbs, and so that's where you come into play, right?
Yeah, and I've seen that. That's pretty common. People think I'm going to list my house on Airbnb. They're going to take care of everything for me. They don't take care of anything other than collecting the payment and basically...
And they have requirements for you to do things too.
and creating the platform where guests can book the property. Yeah. But from then on, it's the actual property management side of things, the hospitality, the experience, the communication with the guest. How do they check into the property? Is it a door code? Is it a key? Where do they get the key? And from then on, it's... and what we like to say is we're the end-to-end travel experience. So from the time you book your stay until the end, including where you travel in the Springs or anywhere for that matter.
So all my friends in Kansas City, they need to reach out to you? Oh, no, that's different. Or do they do that? You do booking. Is that what HOSTE does?
What's that?
So if someone wanted to come out, would they book it? Do you guys manage the properties and the booking too? Okay.
Yeah, everything. And again, Airbnb is just another platform. They just happen to be probably the biggest player in the game right now.
Okay.
A lot of that is just because they have the best platform.
Okay. So explain to me one more time everything that HOSTE does.
Yeah, and it's all over the place, but so say you're wanting a weekend stay with your family in Colorado Springs. You go on Airbnb, or we have a direct booking platform as well. You book your stay. From the moment you get your confirmation, we contact you. Hey, thanks for booking with us. Here are your check-in details. Here's kind of the process. We'll send restaurant coupons and things like that. Because it's someone's vacation. It's where they're going. So not only where are they staying and what's happening within that home, but what are you doing outside of that? And we like to create that experience too.
Okay.
We're going to plan your trip. Okay, you're going to go Garden of Gods this day. You're going to go to Cave of the Winds on this day. You're going to go to this restaurant for dinner on this night. But yeah, we...
you let them... Because I've, when I came out here, I had no idea where all the things were. So you allow them. From living here, you know all the best places that people want to see when they come out here. And I realize I'm not going to be able to do this while talking because it's just not going to work. So I'm going to have someone in here. This was a test trial, but we're going to run with it and we're going to make it happen.
Dude, man, no worries. Yeah, I imagine that's pretty.
And also, it's weird too because
you're trying to think of your next question or where the conversation is going. Oh crap.
Yeah. Got to make sure that I can make sure that I get it on you, but so far I've forgotten to put it back on me, and so it's interesting, and it also kind of dictates the conversation. I feel like I'm like, if I say something and then I do this, it's like, okay, now you got to talk. So I want the conversation to flow, not based off of me going like, your turn. Gotcha. You know, like I don't like that. So it's just an interesting psychological thing that I don't like about this going on. And I wanted to bring it up in this episode because we're doing it. We're making it happen.
Yeah.
And so it's cool. But yeah, so you make the experience. You have the experience here to really show. What are some cool places that you go to, like to visit? Say you having a day off and you just want to, enjoy the town. What are some things you do?
I like Wild Goose. I like going over there, sitting on the patio, having a beer, having a sandwich. The Wild Goose sandwich is amazing. It's got that raspberry sauce.
Okay.
Let's see where else. I mean, a lot of the new places, Quaddies, Streetcar 520. Yeah, a lot of those places we've partnered with. We have coupons we'll send to our guest. In fact, we have one with Streetcar that's like 4 free beers.
Okay,
like
that's amazing. Deal. I'm at the book a night tonight, just so I can get that.
Yeah. I like going hiking, so even just Red Rocks Canyon, I'll hop over there. Going a little hike, of course the incline when I'm filling up to it.
Yeah,
that's not a leisurely one. That's always a challenge. But
yeah, some people do it leisurely.
Some people do.
Yeah. Have you seen there's a Russian guy who's there like every day. His name is Bob. Like a lot of people know about him just because he's there every day. You can find him on Instagram too.
I've seen a couple of the guys that I can't remember the name of that ice cream shop, but he runs it, and I've run into him a couple times doing it. But he's like on his 2nd or 3rd round, and I'm like, geez, man.
Yeah. So I'm pooped after the first one.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't need to. No way.
I used to do it every weekend for like a couple months just for fun,
Yeah.
And it's also a good way to get exercise. And also I was selling popsicles at the top of the incline. So
really?
Yeah. So that was fun. That was when I first moved out here too.
Yeah.
So it was just an interesting thing. So it was like I basically got to get a workout, got a hike, and got paid for it.
Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. So you could tell your guest, hey, you might get popsicles at the top of the incline one of these days.
Yeah, let me know and I'll send them your way.
Yeah, for sure. So what is your plans with this company? What is your ultimate goals?
So, it's just diving down vertically into the experience and everything a guest is, that end-to-end travel experience. So one of the things we're putting in the homes is a tablet. You can check in with it. And then we've just last year, we implemented HOSTE experiences. So that's your hiking tours. We've got a 15-passenger van. We'll pick you up. We'll take you on a hike, and then stop at a brewery or somewhere after that. We're doing paddleboarding tours, and then one thing that's really kicking off is the in-home chef experiences. So we have a 5-star chef. He'll come to the house. He'll cook, and I've done it a couple times as a test.
That's awesome.
He'll come to the house. He'll cook. He'll cook the dinner. He preps a lot of it, but he'll cook it at the house. He'll serve you at the table. You don't have to leave. You don't have to go anywhere. And then he'll clean everything up and leave. So we have that going on, and then also the wine experience. So we'll do wine tastings at the house. Have someone come and serve you. So that's kind of a cool thing. You can even pair those, the wine tasting and the dinner.
That's like, instead of room service, it's house service.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But the sky's the limit with the amount of experiences you can offer people. I think we're getting ready to do yoga. So they'll come to the house and do private yoga, and even they have these big blow up bubbles that actually heat up, so you can do hot yoga in the backyard of the property. We're doing, I mean, there's so many of them. One thing I'm going to try to do this year is Tesla rentals. So,
nice.
so you book your stay, you book your in-home chef experience, you book your Tesla, you show up to the house, and in the garage is a Tesla, and it's yours to use for your stay.
That's freaking amazing.
Right?
Do you? There's a car rental thing that's similar to Airbnb.
Turo.
Turo, is that the one you guys use?
I think my brother used it in the past, but it's kind of similar.
Okay.
It's the sharing economy.
Yeah. And you guys, like, that's the cool thing about it is you guys are making these things an actual like package, an actual idea. Like imagine like, you know, your book, that's cool. I really dig that. And that's next level, I think.
Yeah, and the goal of it is, because it's not only our guests we're serving, it's also the owners who are, you know, it's their property. So they have the ability to book their property staying, and we can offer the same experience to them as well. Same with our team. So I like to, you know, draw a little triangle, and the bottom two squares is the owner and our team, and then at the top, everything that kind of funnels up from the foundation is the guests. But you know, everything we build for one, we want to offer that to all, including our team too. So we'll, some of the things we're doing too for our team is offering stays at some of our houses, some of the experiences, that kind of thing. So yeah, just really trying to build a
well, that's how you work out bugs too. Having your team go into the houses and figure it out. I mean, you said you did IT stuff, and so that's how you work out bugs.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to get in there and use it and test it. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't know. And that.
Oh, good.
I was going to say that's one of the things we do when we set up a home is, you know, we'll have someone stay in it. And test out all the appliances, making sure everything works. That way you kind of catch that before the guest checks in.
Do you guys use like smart home stuff to help make it more efficient when like someone's not in the house, like shut off things? And
all of our homes have a smart lock, and the guests are provided a code at the beginning of their stay that they can check in, just a 4-digit code. And then a lot of our houses have like the Nest cameras.
Okay.
The what else do we have? Of course, the Nest thermostats, those type of things. So we can program it for, you know, when guests aren't staying there, it's energy efficient, and you can save on depending on time of year.
Well, I could see how that's just that would be not only one thing that's good for you if you own the properties, but you know, for your clients that own the properties too. Like that's something that you like, okay, we want to make sure that we're optimizing your investment the most that we possibly can, and all those little things and those little knobs, and I forgot to switch it, and all these little things.
It's just gonna be me in this. It won't be.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it mostly is. And so I had a question, I forgot it, but I also had a backup question in my mind that I was thinking. I knew someone who was one of the Airbnbs I stayed at when I first, he was actually managing a bunch of properties, and he stopped because it was taking up like so much time, like it was like his obsession, and he was making good money at it, but like he wasn't able to spend time with his family. But that's probably because he didn't team out or, you know, expand wide enough. Is that a problem you face?
I mean, yeah, and that was the whole reason for starting the company was, you know, you run into all these unforeseen things that are time suckers. You know, it's even you have standby. So if a guest is staying in your house and there's an emergency at the house, you know, there's a pipe burst, it's the wintertime pipe burst, or something happens where a guest is trying to contact you, you're on standby 24/7, and they can call you, including messaging. So not only do you have to coordinate the cleaning with each home, any maintenance that's going to occur, but also just the regular communication with the guest.
Yeah, because they'll get concerned. You know, if you're not communicating with them, they pull up, they're expecting to be there, and if you're not able to be reached, that could cause some concern, and maybe even make them weary and scared a little bit. You know,
yeah, especially if it's emergency, something's going on, and they can't contact you. You know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like you know, the water heater blew up.
Right. Yeah, it's winter and the heating goes out, right? Then it's no longer hospitable, and they'll have to vacate the home if it can't get fixed in a timely manner. So those are all things that you know, just you kind of learn as you go and you figure it out. But it does. It ends up, and I see this for a lot of people that end up signing on with us, is the amount of time they estimated it would take was just way more work than they thought. And especially if you're going to professionalize it and really make a great guest experience, the time and effort, it's not a part-time thing. If you want to do it professionally, it's not part-time.
No, for sure. You have any like crazy like themes like Harry Potter, where there's like goblets and
we're getting a tree house.
Okay.
So that's
fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I think
that's not really a theme, but I like it.
It's not yeah, maybe Tarzan theme. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Any crazy themes? I don't think so. I want to. We're working on a tiny home or unique home development.
Nice.
So it'll be kind of like, we haven't found the land yet, but a couple acres of a couple tiny homes, a couple of like yurts and things like that. And then if you've seen the cargo containers,
yeah,
they're making those into houses. And so something like that is what we really want to create, just for a unique custom experience.
No, for sure. And that stands out, you know. That's awesome. Yeah. And would those be your guys' properties?
It may be a partnership thing. We'll probably have part ownership, but
okay.
Yeah, we'll probably partner with somebody to help build them all.
Nice. This is crazy, man. All this extra stuff.
I know, you're like, am I pressing everything?
I just realized I usually am like worried about the time, and this is the first time, because I'm so focused on everything else, that I even looked at how long we were going. So this is an interesting episode. We're definitely going to have to get you back on again when the process is down a little better.
Yeah. Either way, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. And just imagine some people's episode was before I even had this quality, this, and this. So this, you're at the precipice of the next level. So, all right. So it's exciting. See, I forgot to even look at me. So there you go again. So what are some of like the biggest challenges that you have starting this company, and maybe some advice to some people getting into this that you didn't expect but now know?
Yeah, I know once we hit, it was probably around 10 to 15 homes we were managing. Scheduling of the cleans becomes difficult, because it's not like you can try to forecast how many cleans you're going to have in a month, but you really don't know. So it could be and specifically the staffing for the cleans. So it could be, every day of the week you have 2 or 3 cleans, and then all of a sudden on a Sunday you have 15 cleans. And you can't necessarily keep the staff or even have the contractors on hand every single day of the week. So that was a little tricky figuring out.
Do you guys use a company for cleaning?
So we have in-house cleaners, but
nice.
we also have a couple of companies that we've partnered with since the beginning. That they've grown with us, which is amazing.
Yeah.
To be a part of that, and then to be able to just grow with us. Claudia's in cleaning services one. I think she maybe had 3 or 4 cleaners when she started, and now she maybe has 15, 20. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of a blend. It's a blend of contract companies and then in-house.
All that focuses on the optimal customer guest stay experience here in Colorado Springs. Give them the best, because we are the best. And now with, since COVID, it's like, we'd have to step up those disinfecting and those cleaning protocols and procedures. So I want to give a note for the viewers, actually specifically Marcus, if you're watching this, we got to have you in here for switching these knobs, man. And second of all, you mentioned tiny houses, and he runs a tiny house festival. He's my business partner in this podcast, and it's a festival that's like 30,000 people come before COVID. Last year he couldn't even operate, which sucked for him because he wasn't able to run his business. He literally was one of the unfortunate businesses that got
Yeah.
shut down completely, essentially, you know. And I forgot to look at me again. Exactly. But they're doing it again this year, and he does Tiny Houses Festival, and just a plug for him, I guess, right here. And
where is that at?
this year it's going to be in Loveland, Colorado.
Okay.
But it's always been like last year or the year before last year, not 2020, obviously, but it was at the Air Force Base.
Okay.
That's where they hosted it, and just like
at Peterson.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they have like a big parking lot and area for things to throw events.
Gotcha. Cool.
And so that was cool. But I wanted to throw that out there. But I also wanted to say, if you're watching this, Marcus, we need you in here.
We need your help, man.
Yeah. All right. So is there anything specifically you'd like to promote today?
I mean, a lot of it was just kind of the experiences. I think that's a unique and I don't know. I like it, and I'm seeing a lot of good feedback from our guests. The in-home chef experience, the wine tasting. I think we're also getting a masseuse, so you can even have a masseuse come. You can have a whole luxury resort at the convenience of staying in a home away from home kind of thing. So,
yeah, that's awesome, man. I like that. That's like a whole next level Airbnb experience, I think. And
yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. This industry is so new. We're just trying to innovate it.
Yeah.
And take it to the next level. And I think the quality of the experience and what guests are expecting is just going to continue to increase, and we want to meet that demand.
What do you think is if you could ideate and imagine here for a second with me 10, 20, 30 years, maybe even some Airbnb or what's the best way to call it if it's not just Airbnb?
Vacation rental management is probably the best. I know that's been a tricky part. Is it short-term rental management? Is it vacation rental?
Yeah.
It's kind of a blend of everything because we also have corporate rentals too, which are 2 to 3 months. So I don't know. Maybe it's HOSTE.
Oh, what?
Maybe it's just HOSTE.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe yeah.
Maybe that's the household name.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah,
and then it's easy. You don't have to say all these vacation rental management.
Yeah, because you can basically take the processing and the software that Airbnb uses and incorporate it into your company. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna say anything Airbnb, but you got some competition coming.
Yeah, well, and again, they're not a management company.
Exactly, they don't. But what I'm saying though is like you can take what they have and give it even more, but make it in-house. Just like you have some in-house cleaners, you have in-house. You know, like you said, if it's the household name that people are searching and thinking of, mm-hmm. then they're going to go to your app to also do everything you would do on Airbnb essentially as well, right?
Yeah, so we do have a direct booking site, booking.imhosty.com, where you can go and book any of our properties, including our corporate rentals as well. But,
nice.
That's something we maybe towards the end of this year developing an app for that.
Interesting. Nice. So future wise though, I meant what are some cool like you're adding masseuses, chefs and stuff like that. What are some cool things you could think of maybe that aren't even possible now, I guess?
Private jet tours. You could,
okay.
The guest is staying at a house, you go pick them up in a limo, or maybe the Tesla can in the future, the Tesla can just drive them there to the airport, drops them off on the runway, red carpet. You walk up, somebody greets you with, a bottle of, a glass of champagne, and you do a tour around Colorado in a private jet. You
guys could even have like a fleet of Teslas that are just like you have like a fleet of houses,
The robo taxis, they're everywhere. Yeah. They're picking you up from the airport when you land. They're taking you to the house. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Which I don't imagine that's going to be too long when we'll see those.
No, for sure.
The actual robo taxis. It's. I think the technology's there. I think we're just looking at regulations or what's holding it back. And
for sure,
I think even Elon Musk said something about the end of this year, but
yeah,
who knows?
No, for sure. Yeah, with that kind of stuff, you can't really call it, but he does have the right drive to promise things like that.
Yeah, he's held pretty true on a lot of his words.
Yeah, so. For sure. Like Dogecoin. No, I'm just kidding. Dogecoin, yeah. So yeah, we'll start wrapping this up. This is the show, man. We're doing it. I'm excited. It's a little different. It's got me out of my element doing it this way, and I switched it to you instead of me. And I actually think, you know, we are going to be doing them. We're going to be recording them on Saturdays, and so Marcus will be here. But this is kind of like we're shifting into the process, so that's why he's not here right now. But also, I just realized I get a longer HDMI cord, and just put the screen over there. Then I could make sure, and I could see.
Then you have a visual. Yeah, you don't have to.
I like do all that, and it looks weird because I'm not looking at the camera, and it would be in my peripheries. Like I wouldn't even necessarily need to look at the screen. I could look at you the whole time and just know which one it's on.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, so we're just gonna go back and forth, back and forth. All right.
Hey man, that's all part of just innovating and updating it.
No, for sure.
There's a testing process and.
Yeah, this is the testing ground. All right, so this has been the COS Business Podcast. Sitting here with Philip Wilburn today from HOSTE. You started HOSTE, you run HOSTE, and check them out if you guys want some rentals out in if you guys want to enjoy a stay and you're not in Colorado Springs. Or maybe you are in Colorado Springs and you just want to be pampered too. Hit up HOSTE. All right, we'll see you guys on the next episode, and bye-bye.